A new apex predator has made its way into Path of Titans. That being saurophaganax. Weighing in at 5,000 and having 750 health, this thing is perfect. Let's start off with the best build. Plus 20% bleed damage, the best one. Although 5% attack damage is very good. Stamina recovery is again good, but sometimes you're not fast enough to kind of escape most of the dinosaurs, and you end up not being able to regain stamina half the fight. So I definitely think plus 20% bleed damage is the way to go. I've found Jaramello to be my favourite thing, mostly because it looks like a leopard gecko. It's got titties. That'll be my thumbnail, That'll be my thumbnail. This is the build. Now let's go over all the abilities in detail. So for passives, we got Tyrant Despot. Increases Allosaurus and concavenated damage, armor, and abnormal conditions healing. And now for our second passive, we got Berserker Madness. While within 50 meters of a bleeding creature, it shortens your cooldown by 15%. So both of those passives are really good. Now let's go on to the head slots. So Bite just causes medium damage and light bleed. That's awesome though. It does bleed a normal bite, so it's already better than Allosaurus. Then we got Relish in Bloodbath. A dual hit that causes high damage and moderate bleed per hit. Now those two abilities combined to each other are awesome. Now onto senses. Most of these are group builds, and for this one this is a herbivore thing. But I like this one, Blood Driven Madness. Increases stamina recovery by 15% and trot speed by 10% when within 50 meters of a bleeding creature. This helps with our bleed build. Now for our front limb slot, we're going to be using Severing Barrage. A dual claw attack that reduces enemy bleed heal by 10% per stack, stacking up to 5 times. Stacking half a target's bleed heal rate by 50% if you get a full stack. That's awesome. Now for Metabolism, Lord of the Lizard Eaters, why not? Now for hide, we're going to be using Demon Blood. Heal abnormal conditions, which is like bleed, venom stuff, 40% faster. I feel like both of these other ones are good. This one's the best in the build. This one's kind of if you're up for it. But yeah, now onto our back slim slot. Tyrant Tempered Tantrum. Nice alliteration there. A medium damaging attack with front feet that hits up to... Why is it saying front feet? I've only got 2 feet. Anyway, that hits up to 2 times. Locks you in place when used. Shortens cooldowns by 25% on a successful hit. So that's awesome. That's kinda like the Acro one, but with 2. But yeah, Lunging Snap, I've never seen anyone use it, so I'm guessing it's bad. Now for our tail slot, we're not going to be using tail attack, we're going to be using Juke. Rapidly turn to face behind you and change your direction. This is like a 180 degree turn, by the way. Now for our voice slot, instead of all these two, we're going to be using Exalted King. Increase your damage by 10% and bleed damage by 20%. Super simple, but it works like a charm. Now, let's go on to the PvP montage. Our first battle is against saurophaganax's smaller cousin, Allosaurus.
Allosaurus had never seen such bullshit before.
Since I'm basically just an Allosaurus, but much bigger, much heavier, more health, more speed. Well, actually, it's a bit faster than me, but you get the point. I'm able to just destroy it. He begins to flee, but unfortunately, I'm using my buff call and I'm continuing the chase. And he hasn't got much bleed on me anyway, so there's no point. He's attempting to bleed me out, but unfortunately I've got no bleed on me, because Allosaurus needs a TLC, 100%. And saurophaganax is just, yeah, amazing. After a couple minutes, I was finally able to close the distance and secure the kill. With that fatality, we're moving on to our next fight. Now, we're fighting a dry Suchomimus. Possibly the next TLC creature, in my opinion. And also, don't worry, we're going to fight a wet one in a minute. Make sure to utilise your Duke ability and good turning to get behind your opponent. Even if you know you're going to win, because saurophaganax takes a while to heal, and trust me, you don't want to be there. Pretty easy fight this was, just a bit of drift turning, which Orca hates. or Brit, whatever. But yeah, after a terrible stomp, I secured the kill. Now onto a wet Suchomimus fight. Claw Barrage is absolutely fatal with this build. So if he's using Dredged Blows, Claw Barrage, and the 5% wet damage, I'm in for a treat. That's a bloody Dino Slayer, that one. I would advise to kinda step back a little bit, try and let your bleed do the stuff, but I just kept on going, why not? At the end, I decided to let the bleed do the thing, and it worked a charm. Now, onto some bonus clips. These were obviously filmed on Amber Deathmatch. And thank you Toast for the other clip from earlier. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. As always, have an awesome day, and make sure to join my Discord, links in the description. But yeah, that's James, signing out. Peace. Before I go though, if you want to watch this was filmed on PT Semi-Realism. Yeah, he was fighting over a bush.